Hello guys, it's Peter from PS Sound, and I would like to introduce this super long video to you. Not just potentially, but definitely the longest video I've ever put together for you guys, which happened over this year's summer when I had this rare opportunity to visit Thomas Hoffmann at his factory where micro-precision speakers and amplifiers are made. Yes, I didn't think that I would ever be able to see manufacturing in this detail, but I think it's just one of those things that now some of you who have followed me for so many years, you could see my journey, and it's amazing that we can also gain manufacturers' trust. Before anybody thinks anything more about it, I was not sponsored. I'm never sponsored by anybody to use any of their products. I naturally started to use Thomas's products because of the reputation. Over here in Europe, we have many competitors in the competition scene in EMA and AYA who use micro-precision speakers especially. Not so many of the amplifiers, but you will see in the video as well that I was talking about it with Thomas, that the amplifiers were not so well known in the circles here in Europe, or more exactly in UK. But now, yes, quite many people started to learn that the amplifiers that come out from micro-precision are something very special. And that's one of the reasons why I also have them in my own demo car in the S-Class. So yes, get ready. You will need popcorn, many drinks if you want to see the whole video. By the way, this was not directed in any way. I was just walking around with him. He was very kind to dedicate a day from his life, and there was nothing happening in the factory, so I could spend the whole day with him, and we just went through everything randomly. I didn't cut anything out of the video. My wife was walking around us and recording us, and we just had an amazing time. And hopefully you will also like what you see, how somebody can be so dedicated to audio, just like Thomas. His life is all about audio, about sound, about making speakers, about making amplifiers now. And one thing that's missing from the video that I couldn't record with him when we spent time together, going out for food, cooking together, things like that, is his journey. His whole journey, how he managed to get into audio, how from early age he just fell into audio, selling products, building systems for friends, and then for more and more people. It was amazing to listen to his stories, how the industry was back in the 80s and 90s, how crazily booming it was, and how many people were hungry for audio. And here he is now, after so many decades, still doing it with so much passion and always focusing on quality. We get many messages from different channels asking about micro-precision products and how speakers compare. And one thing I would like to highlight just here in this short introduction, if somebody is asking, if the main question is that, Pete, how loud can you go with these speakers? You're already asking the wrong question. You're not looking for the main thing, and you are not asking the right question yet. It's a bit like when you want to taste a really fine wine. You're not asking about the qualities of the taste, where did the flavors come from and how it was manufactured, how they could achieve that taste from a wine. You are asking, oh, how strong is it? How drunk can I get? Those are the wrong questions. So I would say if somebody has never heard about micro-precision, just take it as this is truly one of the manufacturers globally, really focuses on quality, the finest quality, and you really have to have a chance to try some of these drivers. Yeah, Thomas is special. So get ready, because this video is long, as I mentioned, but hopefully you will like every single second of it.
Structure is
in between.
The membrane is between the two aluminium foils, and the structure is like air bubbles.
Yeah, it's really light.
Yeah, it's like when you go to a Chinese restaurant and you have this kind of Chinese krokbok bread. It's very lightweight, very stiff, But if you bend it too much, it breaks. But the new ones, they are a little bit more
Structurally rigid.
yeah, structurally rigid.
A bit more
Yeah.
rigid, yeah. Yeah, that's super light.
Yeah. It's not, the weight is not possible to beat by any other material. You can't go lower. Even if you have the thinnest paper membrane, it will be more heavy than this one.
Yeah.
And the challenge about weight is our main challenge. Speaker weight.
Especially when you go larger and larger in size, then you also have to keep rigidity. That might be, I guess, another challenge.
Yes. Also the sound of lightweight speakers, especially when you come to bass drivers, the sound is totally different.
Yeah.
You cannot compare with a high weight paper cone with very big voice coils. They will give a lot of deep impact. This is also very nice, but it's not the clearness that I'm searching for.
Accuracy, exactly. Yeah. That's a big difference.
The speed in bass. But you know, this is, I can understand that people like to have a very strong bass, and I also like your car because it has the very strong bass.
Yeah, has impact, but combining the two,
yeah.
Combining the two, that's a difficult thing in a car.
It's a difficult thing in a car. Also, the other cars from the UK that I've listened to in Salzburg, all of them had a very strong fundamental bass. This is what I really like. But for my home listening, I prefer some different.
Even for me, listening to music at home is very different. At home, probably you haven't seen, I have an open buffalo system. During COVID, I was bored, like many people. What can we do? And I wanted to experiment with new solutions. Building boxes is something that anybody can do, really. Okay, building good boxes is a different story. But I wanted to see how you could get the cleanest bass without any colorization on the cone or anything. And then I built an open buffalo system. I wanted to see what bass is like that. The speaker that I'm leaving here, that's also designed for that application.
Yeah.
And considering they are 15-inch drivers, they have relatively low moving mass compared to other 15-inch
compared to
speakers.
others. Yeah.
Very, very nice construction. Actually, probably you haven't even seen any of those in your hand. It might be worth to open the box quick and just have a look at it.
We can open it, yes, of course.
Have a look at it, because it's just a single guy in America who makes them.
Okay.
He's also quite specific about his preference of speaker manufacturing, and he doesn't even do anything else. He only makes pretty much bass drivers for audiophiles, just with his take on it. But yeah, in a car we need more fundamental bass, because how do you get enough level in a sport car? You need many speakers. Yeah, that's the tricky thing.
That's the reason why I have this sub tower in my listening room.
I've seen it. We will definitely have a look at that.
Yeah, because you know the listening room is very big, and one single 10-inch cannot fill the room with the energy that I wanted to have.
Definitely.
But with these lightweight drivers, you need more of them to get it very fundamental.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why I choose the 8 pieces. And you know, when you are watching Blu-ray, DVD, or whatever, you know, when the meteor is coming explosion. And explosion, the drivers move 1 millimeter.
Yeah, when you have cone area.
The cone area gives the impact, and the impact is very clear. Yeah. This is what I like, but this is not possible in the most listening rooms when you have small apartment or whatever.
Or in a car. That's the problem. When people have priorities, they need practical space. They don't want to sacrifice boot space because they need for luggages. Like in my car as well. Also, when you have an isolated boot space, you would need at least, I don't know, 4 10-inch speakers, and then you need a big enclosure, so it would take up most of the space. That's the trick.
So I've always told my customers that my drivers, my bass drivers, are not able to run in the car like you have with the closed boot. This is not possible. Because they will destroy all the drivers by pushing.
They want to turn it up.
They want to crank it up, and the drivers are not made for it. You can use my bass drivers in a cabinet about 35 liter vented in a, let's say, in a Golf or in a small Mercedes with open trunk or whatever.
It's easy to fill the space with it.
Then the driver can move the energy to the passenger cell
exactly.
without being isolated by the backseat leather material.
Even in mine, I could literally cut the parcel chef out, and I'm getting at least 8 dB, and that's a hell of a lot. So much is just kept, you know, in the trunk. And car audio is challenging. It's challenging at times.
You know, it's always important that you choose the right things, the right drivers for your customer. This is the project of the home audio speaker, that's Z monitor, and this is the speaker on the stand. And I had two different stands. This is a amplification unit and passive crossover. You can see the modules here. You can take out, this is the mid-range crossover. Mid-range crossover, bass driver crossover, tweeter crossover with a switch.
What can you change with the switch? Maybe you may have to come around, and then we can see it.
With the switch is only a level adjustment. That's it.
Okay, I see.
This is the amplifier module. This is an amplifier that uses only one transistor. This is the input section and the output section. I have different inputs. One input is the XLR input. The amplifier that goes by this cable to the
So
speaker.
this can stay underneath the speaker.
Yes.
As part of the stand. Yeah, makes sense.
The speaker is on it. And in the speaker itself is nothing. No crossover, nothing. So this is an active system that I made long time ago. I made also a few for customers. Crossover, three-way passive. That means you can place the speaker on this stand, and then you connect your power amplifier, a regular one, and you have a passive crossover without any losses. This is the biggest coils that Nundorf company ever made.
I've been to that place. I've seen some crazy stuff like that.
So in this age, more than 10 years ago, I visited Mr. Mundorf and I said, hey, I need the biggest coils you can make. And then he said, okay, we can do something like this. And I ordered 10 pieces and they were fucking hell expensive. But at least it was the lowest resistance winding coil I ever had. Also this capacitors, this is a 40 microfarad capacitor. It's like a pot for making sauce.
That's a nice way to put it.
But at the end, after changing the passive crossover parts to crossovers like this, all the distortion in the speakers was gone on the high listening level, because the normal components cannot handle this high current that is going on.
Nice and simple minimalistic design to align them passively in time as well. It makes all the sense. Very nice.
The difference. So this is even very good, but comparing to the best one that is possible, it is like a toy.
Yeah.
And when you are looking at home audio speakers, very expensive one, and look at their crossovers.
All the components. Then yeah, somebody, an engineer like you look at it and then you don't even have to listen to it. You will know exactly what happens there.
I do not work with PC boards because a PC board is a problem to transport the current. So this is, underneath is
And then if you have all the wiring.
Is the wiring, and this also.
You have proper conductors, I can see.
Yeah, this is all silver wire underneath. But this project is no more in focus. The home audio thing.
For you.
For me, I have a couple of customers in a few countries. They are running the home audio speakers, and they are really happy with them. But the work to build them is so much, and it takes so much time that I have to absorb the time from the regular
projects. Yeah.
From the regular.
Yeah, I guess if you had continuous orders, if you had, like 100 pieces going out every half a year, then you could plan it.
Then you can plan, but not, when it is made by order, it
may take a long time. So if somebody tells you now that they want a system, what time scale would they be looking at?
No, I would not even take the order.
Not even. Okay.
No.
Not with your lifestyle now.
No. I have a friend from the Netherlands. He was doing assembling the speakers in the cabinets and all these things he was doing. But with his new job, he could not even come, and so because of manpower so the project stopped because of manpower. And you cannot put a guy without good knowledge
and experience to just do it,
Yeah.
thinking he's going to deliver the same level. Yeah. I agree.
That's the main thing.
It's always manpower.
Yeah, the manpower is the problem.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of old literature, old books about audio.
All in German.
Most of them are in German, but not all of them.
So what is this? It's still good old currency. I can see that. So what is 94?
Yeah.
May 94.
Yeah.
So how do you see now in, for example, home audio? You definitely have a wide knowledge and experience of how speakers developed over time. Do they really develop so much by time, or even like back in 94, we still had great drivers? Right?
Of course, yeah.
So not that much changes, but we see like a higher level of marketing, how so much better everything is now. But it's not really the case, is it?
No. There is no big improvement in speaker driver development at all. It's better marketing, better
make it pretty.
Make it more nice, make it more good looking, and
you don't see magazines like this anymore. No. Also, just look at that. Speakers with graphs and.
This is the book.
It's crazy.
The book I was talking about yesterday. This is a book only with parameters and pictures.
Amazing. So that's why you also selected the driver to start to work with at the time.
Yeah.
And I saw it was somewhere there.
Yeah, there was the 5-inch somewhere.
Yeah,
here.
This
is one of them, yeah. No, this is the 10 centimeter.
Yeah, it's the 4-inch.
Very small one. Yeah. And this is the 13 centimeter, 5-inch. But this is a database from the past, when there was no internet.
But that's the thing, Thiel and small parameters don't change. They are always going to be the same. Some people don't understand any of it. Some people do like, yeah, MMS 4.84 for a 5-inch driver. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So the layout is even is looking even older.
You know what? I don't know if this was available anywhere else, but it really feels like this just shows the clear characteristics of German engineering.
Yes, yeah.
That
this is a collection of an engineer collecting data.
Because I don't think you have any other nation that would have background like this.
So I have 4 of these books from different ages.
That's crazy. There you go. I was born a year before that. Mad. That's what I'm saying. You know, the fundamentals of engineering. That was all done so many decades ago. So what can you change on the top of that? Not that much.
Look at this book. This is something similar, but it's about amplifiers, reel recorders,
tape recorders,
cassette recorders. You can compare all of them in a 900 pages book. I think 900.
And then obviously this is interesting for engineers and the geeks. But in today's world, they had to filter all of that down to this nice pictures, and that's what sells.
Yeah. When we go to the printing press today, there is even no technical information anymore. It's only about pictures, and you get some text, but the technical information is gone, and this is a pity.
Crazy. Speaker manufacturers were definitely creative back then. I can see that. This looks like this was like a DIY show where everybody could bring their designs.
Yeah, we still have this DIY show where you can bring your design.
Well, I understand this much in German. Beton, that's concrete.
Yeah, concrete.
That's brilliant. And I still see people who make speaker cabinets out of like stone and things like that.
But when we go in age more back, you can see the book of 1963.
Wow.
Information about audio in 1963.
And you see, this is the point when some people, like yesterday I said in the hotel, they thought that I could speak German.
Mm-hmm.
And I explained to them the situation that unfortunately I couldn't learn speaking German. And they were like, yeah, but these days English is the language. But imagine now if I was just as fluent in German, I could read all of this.
So this is the high-end audio cookbook.
Wow.
Yeah, I bought this in the year 2000 in Las Vegas.
Mm.
Yeah.
Black and white. Not many people can stay focused to read even 3 pages, let alone 500.
You know, but all the main things that we are doing today was already there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Also a book about the small parameter I have is about 200 pages, but I think it's not
just about parameters.
Just about parameters,
yeah.
But it's not here. I think it's in my office right now. So the parameter thing is also a discussion because parameters are always moving. It's depending on the level that you are doing the measurement with. So when you have a measurement with a fixed output level, the parameters are measured at this level. If you change the level, you get different parameter.
Yeah.
And also, depending on the calculation model, on the mathematic calculation model during measuring the parameters, the numbers differ that you can see. So parameter is no absolute thing. Parameter is an indicator. When you are doing research on your own drivers, you can set up, let's say I measure at 1 watt, I measure at 10 watt or whatever, and then you can see the changes in your driver after doing mechanical changes in the driver. So for research is very easy, but comparing parameters from A to B is not possible if you do not know how it's calculated, what is the calculation behind. It's like the FFT calculation. behind the graphs that you see gives different visual output. And if you do not know how it is calculated and how it is measured, you cannot use the TSP.
It's quite interesting because these days you probably see that many guys on Facebook especially, they put a lot of effort into measuring amplifiers, measuring speakers. So what can we really take away from that?
You know, this discussion is a long discussion, and I have my own thoughts behind because I'm doing a lot of measurements. After a while, you can see a character of an amplifier, for example, if you do the harmonic measurement on various outputs. And what I'm focusing right now is the rise time of amplifiers. Yeah, and
that's important. Yeah.
This is more important than
many people overlook.
No one is talking about, because it's not easy to measure. It's too complicated for a normal hobbyist to measure this. Also, how to measure needs a fixed environment to compare. So the rise time is also changing by load, by output voltage and some other things. So if you want to compare amplifiers by rise time, you need a structure, how to set the output, and then you can compare. And my rise time measurements, they mirror the audible result in my amplifiers. So
I think we will have to talk about this when we get around the amps. When we see the amps, you can explain there. It will make more sense for sure.
The first Dyn Audio Isotar tweeter, and this is the driver from Japan, the Cora driver from Japan.
And the surround is still in nice shape, and also very light.
Yeah, this is a ceramic coated paper membrane. Okay, and we was thinking 10 years ago, Jamil and me, how they can do a ceramic coating on paper. And so we went to a research plant 80 kilometers from here. They are doing research on
different material types.
No, they are doing research for
airspace.
No, not for airspace, for the nuclear power plants. Okay. So there are 200 highly educated people, and I have seen items I have never seen before, where the reactors, what they are doing, and
testing different materials,
1400 degree temperature, and all these things we have seen. And we went with this piece of paper with ceramic coating to the professors, and they say, "Oh, I don't understand how they have done this."
Wow.
Yeah. So this was a high-tech membrane from Japan. Also, of course, the surround in textile, the magnet system is very well made. Everything is perfectly made. That's the reason why I choose this driver in the middle of the 80s and with my first home audio project.
So what could happen back in the day? Probably that the engineers behind this were also old. They passed away without passing the information to somebody.
I don't know. I think today is too expensive to make something like
People
this.
focus too much on making money.
Yeah. Making money with fancy looking things. You know, this speaker driver does not look fancy, but the technology behind is really complicated.
Crazy tools.
Yeah, this is not a coil toy. This is for This is long-lasting tones.
Yeah, decay is
Yeah.
insane. It's probably like a minute. You're still holding it. Amazing.
But you see, it's different tone comparing to the damped one.
What is this?
I'm not able to play this. This is a technology that is done with hands or something.
Okay, so you need a musician to
Yeah.
use it properly. Yeah, these also decay for long.
This is still running.
You know, big stacks of, you know, amplifiers, radios, everything, and proper speakers.
Yeah.
Proper speakers which were not built for fancy look. They were like this, and some big ones as well. There you go. Now Clara is gonna steal all the secrets and people
Yeah, it doesn't
make
matter.
these.
No.
So what's happening with that coil there? That you have 3 windings.
Yeah. Studio 245 in the version.
So is that technically 3 voice coils there?
No. This is
one, but
this only distance winding.
okay.
Yeah. It's not easy to calculate because the placement must be really exact and it must fit 100% to the upper pole plate. Then the voice coil is working how it's supposed to be.
I see. It finishes there, then
Yeah.
it goes down.
This is handmade winding from a friend from Mr. Görlich.
Mhm.
He has done them. The cassette thing is very interesting because there is a kind of revival of cassette players.
New cassette.
No,
Unopened.
look, this one is a new unopened metal type cassette and is extremely expensive and hard to find. One of my
It was
friends
expensive back then. Now probably the value of this is insane if somebody wants to buy it.
is about, let's say, 80 euro, 100 euro for one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friend of mine with the size of a cassette.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And if you want to put a
It
cassette,
just shows that, you know, Japanese back in the day were...
if you want to put a cassette in, you have to slide, then you can open. And here is all the technique, and the battery is in this place.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This is the tiniest Walkman ever made by Sony. I bought this as a new item when I was young. This is a Pink Floyd cassette. New one, very new.
Wow.
My son gave it to me, and this is analog tapes from the reel-to-reel recorder that I already sold. This is a half-inch size, so you can see the dimension of the.
Yeah.
This was for 2-channel master recorder, a Studer A80 that I already sold to the USA because I did not use. I did some experimenting with.
Just collecting dust.
Did some experimenting with analog recording, and I found out is overwhelmed. Yeah. Analog recording is the cassette players from Yamaha.
Okay. Are those relatively new then, or?
No, they are from let's say late 80s.
Okay.
And there is a special reason why I have them. Yeah, there is a reason. Hard to find. I was inspired by a Facebook channel from London. There is a guy who is making restoration on tape recorders. And suddenly he was posting the Yamaha one, this one. And when I was young, I bought this one new in shop. And I said, hey, wow, I had this one. What are you asking for it? Because I want to buy. He was asking £2,500 for this Yamaha. And wow, I tried to find on the German market something, but was not possible. And after a time, I found a guy who had 3 of them in mint condition. I bought all of them, all the 3 of them, and he was a mechanical engineer, and he made also his own turntable that he showed me in private. That high, that stands, acrylic, brass, everything. Crazy guy.
So he had no use for them, and he didn't really value them the same way. I guess he didn't pay 2,500.
I only wanted to pick up the Yamaha tapes from him, and the visit was about 4 hours. And the talk about audio was 4 hours. And he also had one in the silver color, and I gave this to my son, and he can do now analog recording of his guitar playing.
Nice. Nice.
Now I tell you something about this. This is also interesting. When we are talking about audio in general, this is old Sony turntable. The cartridge I bought is from the 90s, late 80s something. And this is now connected to a tube preamplifier, with phono tube preamplifier. And the output of this phono tube preamplifier goes to this vintage Pioneer CD recorder.
Wow.
And the CD recorder is digitizing the signal from the tube, and he is sending out the digital data to the computer where I can record it.
Okay.
Yeah. And after the recording of the raw data, I can do adjustments in the software. This is the Logic software from Apple that I'm familiar with.
Yeah, somebody recently was telling me that you even have a USB with some of these recordings that you can use yourself because you know the recording really well.
Yeah.
Use it as a reference, whether you hear that on a playback on a system, and yeah, it's a different word.
So this is some private research also about the phono preamplifiers. I will do research. What is the influence of the phono preamplifier in general? So the idea behind will come, not soon, but I'm working on it. We have the cartridge and the CD player and a record that I use. And so when I change this, everything must be leveled to this one.
Yep.
And then I make the recording by this one and this one. And in the software, I can compare by clicking track 1 stereo, track 2 different phono stage stereo, blah blah blah.
You can compare.
I can compare by click, click, click. You know, there is no need to plug or unplug. There's no time difference in comparing.
It's instant. Yeah, you need within half a second, really.
Half a second is the thing. So something I'm doing as a hobby, and this is professional recording stuff that I have. Prism Sound from the UK. This is the reference product. It's a AD and DA converter in a modular way they have done this. This is a microphone amplifier also from the UK. From Mazelek is the guy that is constructing them. And this is a headphone amplifier.
With nice tubes.
Made by my friend that passed away many years ago. So this is the audio part, is the tube part, and
Home preamp. Yeah, crazy.
this is all power supply. everything is power supply except the tube part. The tube part is audio.
That's mad.
And when you connect the headphone to this one and you gain, there is something you never heard before from headphones.
How bad?
It's about, you have an output voltage on a headphone up to 400 volt. Yeah, because this is a transformerless direct tube amplifier. OTL, output transformerless. Yeah. This is nice recording mixer from Revox, mainly also called Studer. If you want to do some home recording, very good item, not too expensive, or maybe I don't know how expensive it is.
To find them now these days in good quality.
Yeah, but this is high-end quality from Switzerland, from the past. Yeah.
Some people look at it and they say, oh, this is 20, 30 or even more year old, but it's still high-end quality.
This is 40 years old technique,
yeah, exactly.
And if you use the sliders, there is no noise, there is no scratching. All the switches, everything has no scratch, no crackling noise in the, on the output. Yeah.
I don't know if today's generation has the passion to,
We cannot, we cannot.
You need emotional connection to all these things as well, because when you were a kid, this was part of the culture.
Yeah, of course.
And these days, it's not anymore. That's one big problem.
There is a revival, but
I think that's just a trend as well. But the emotional connection is not there. It's not the same. That's the problem. I can even admit that as this wasn't the part of my growing up period, I don't feel that passion. It's just it's evolution, I think.
Well, I have done things with analog recording. I have done things with digital recording, and the analog recording has no major. It's not better. Yeah, it is like an inspiring moment when you are doing this. Yeah, but the digital recording on a high quality standard is very easy to maintain. There are no mechanical parts that can go broken or whatever. Yeah, so I also love the analog world, and I also know about the digital world in industrial design. No one can beat this.
NRW-Innenminister Reul hat im Innenausschuss des Landtags zum Fall diese...
This is also from the early 90s. And the tower can be that high, it's depending on how many.
But if it wasn't this design, it would be this high.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, this is a.
There's a bit of interference on the radio, but. Yeah.
There is no antenna. Huh? The antenna is
just a cable.
Is just the cable.
Yeah.
And the signal is right now very low. If I move the antenna a little bit, then now it comes up.
Yeah, it shows.
But
it can show the level of the signal. Yeah.
I had a couple of FM tuners. Also the big Kenwood ones and also semi-professional ones. But this is the cheapest and the best ever I had.
Brown, yeah. Well, to be fair, I'm not even sure I've seen audio electronics from Brown in the past. But of course, it's always been a big brand. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. This is a very famous industrial designer, and he also designed the watches, the shavers, and all these things. There is a book of items that he designed. Yeah. Maybe here.
He did everything symmetrical.
You know, exactly. The logo is here, the other one has logo here or whatever. Yeah, and this is what I recommended one of my friends. He's working for a German company, and I told him, look at the AccuFace parts. AccuFace, they always have the same color, and the logo is always on the nearly on the same place. So when you buy a very old one of AccuFace and a new one, you can place them side by side, or maybe you can stack them. But
German OCD.
but this is the reference, and when you want to set up a company doing home audio, I would always recommend think about this. Because there are people in the world who have this aesthetic visual sensitivity.
Also from left to right.
Yeah.
I can see it.
You can see now. Yeah, it's like watching at a Z4 car. You see the lines, you see the shape. Not all of the people see this. One of the super high-end mixers from Switzerland.
Oh yeah, that feels good.
This is the smallest one they have. When you order it as a new item, it will be around 12,000 euro, and it's battery powered.
So you can take it to a remote place.
You also do not have hum from the 220, and you do not have also the problems with the potential, the electrical potential on the inputs.
Yeah.
These are 8 batteries in front, the big ones. And then you can check the battery test. It's a 1.4 volt, so it's not full.
Still good.
But this is something really, really special. Normally, it's made. This brand is used when you are going to movie audio.
Theaters and cinemas. Yeah.
No, not in cinemas.
Just theater.
On movie taking.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, with the microphones.
I see recordings. Yeah.
Movie recording. Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
I like to place it here because when I walk, I always have a look.
It makes you happy.
100 times a day.
There you go. One is not turned the same way.
100 times a day I see this and I see this. Yeah. Every time I walk along here.
Some people look at, paints. You need to see electronic designs. It makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what pleases your mind.
The story behind is very easy. This is a acoustical absorber from big office rooms. Yeah, so they are placing them
to separate the space.
To separate the office, the working spaces. But for me, it's important when I watch TV that there is no light coming from the back side.
Well.
So this is an extension of the black side of TV.
As well as acoustical absorption.
Yeah, because this room is also very big.
Jesus, what is that?
This is old Grundig speakers. We can turn them, more easy to see.
That's vintage. Wow.
So this is a 3-way full active speaker.
And this was produced back in what
This
year?
was also in the 80s.
Yeah, this was something that was part of that era that they liked to put the graphs, if you can see, the response graphs on the cabinets. Yeah.
But I bought these speakers for my son. Yeah, because in his apartment, he's living in Berlin, he bought himself a piano, electric piano, one of the best, but he was looking for speakers to connect it to this piano. And I said to him, okay, I will find something that sounds like a piano, because they have a very, very big, deep, fundamental tones. Also, the overtones are pretty good on them, but you know, when you are playing the deep tones on the piano, the speaker must be able to produce. And because in an apartment, the speaker should be not too big, so I know before that these are doing it, and so I found a pair that is still working. Only one tweeter I have to repair. Repair must be done, and then they will go to Berlin.
It has some thickness.
Yes. Maybe light.
Yeah.
Not so much.
If the tweeter is too bright, you just put this in front of it. Work it here. So what was this space before? Before you found this?
It was.
Was it built like this with the house joined together, or you made it like this?
No. This is from the landlord.
It's his. But what was this before then?
This was. It's called hatchery, where they grow the eggs from not chicken. The how's called the bigger ones.
Turkey.
The turkeys, yeah.
Okay.
So this was, when I come to this place, this was full of ovens where the eggs are in.
Yeah.
And when the turkey come out, they took them and sent them to Poland to raise them.
I see. I see. There you go. I have the same vacuum. Festival.
Yeah. So this is a sandblasting box.
Yeah.
Vintage.
Gravity did its job.
No, it's
Oh, it was damaged.
all of them are damaged.
I see.
This is fully burned.
Yep. Doesn't even move down. Wow.
So maybe we take out the membranes as a piece of history or whatever, I don't know. We will find something.
So that's where you visit.
Yes. This is working space. So all these drivers are ready, and we need to place the dust caps, and then they go to the next.
So you have bays, like this is preparation bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there is the storage of the drivers, then they are tested and magnetized. This is the magnetizer coil. And then they go to the next table where they're getting the stickers, and again testing and watching if everything is visual good. And then it goes into the black box.
What does it do? Or do you have times when you have to work long days, or how do you manage to do it? Because it can be quite a lot to manage. How many people do you have to help you?
I have 2 people who are helping in the speaker production. Yeah. But the girl is now under surgery. She got a new knee. Not so nice. And my colleague Gregor from Poland, he is coming after his main work and helping getting all this. You know, when you are alone, you are not able to do this. Because it's too much. You know, we
need people who you can trust. We can also deliver levels.
Look. The magnet making. Okay, Jamil is doing the metal parts. If I order 200 magnets, he has 600 metal parts to do. 600. Yeah? And then you have to glue. That means 600 times gluing. 200 drivers means 200 screws
Yep.
must be set. And
Those as well.
600 screws and gluing. Then the driver is at this stage.
Many manufacturers don't even screw the magnet to the basket. Yeah.
You know why I'm
Little
doing
thing
this?
that's very important.
The magnet is extremely expensive because it's not a stamped part, it's a machined part, and this is a high precision magnet. That's the difference comparing to cheap magnets. The magnet is very expensive. So when something went wrong during the assembly of the driver, or maybe after a few years, customer
to
gets
change it.
problem, I can
Remove it,
I can remove and I can use the magnet again.
I see.
Yeah, this is the way of thinking.
But then you don't have glue between the basket and the magnet.
There is glue.
There is, but you
Yeah.
can still separate it.
Yeah, we put something like a
A
knife,
sharp tool, yeah.
and then we hammer it, and then the magnet go off.
Yep.
Then the magnet will be cleaned, and we can use again. So this happens also when the speaker driver does not pass the quality test.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something happens and
Then
you have to change.
then we have to unmount. Then we have to throw away the basket. We have to throw away all the interior, but the magnet survives.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we work this way, because it's very expensive material. I've not counted yet, but there are minimum 40 steps of work raising one speaker driver. Maybe 50.
And then when you have
steps.
200 pieces to make,
Yeah.
and there's just one model.
Yeah. Then you know the amount of steps, and that's the reason why it takes also so much time, because it's not automated.
Yeah.
Production line, you know, there are 100 people doing the 50 steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it's done quickly.
Yeah. So it's done very quickly, but at the end of the line is the quality test. And if the speaker is not good at the end of the line, you have to throw away. That means if one of the 100 people working on the line is not doing good work,
All of them.
you have to throw a lot of items away. So you have to set the tolerance on the working line to a level that at the end is no problem at all.
Yeah. So less
Yeah.
people gives you less factors for
Yeah. So,
making
you know,
mistakes.
it's about the air gap. If you make a small air gap, it's even more hard to assemble. If the air gap becomes bigger,
Then it doesn't work the way it should.
yeah, you know, there is no throwaway at the end of the line. But we are working with very small air gaps, and and with precision magnets. So you have to be precise. Otherwise, we also have to throw away.
Well, probably that's why the name of the brand.
The name of the brand is funny name. We can run the test.
And you can look for any distortion, anything in the driver, buzzing. Yeah.
Yes. These generators are very special because you have the 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz in a 180 degree turn
One turn.
without switching.
Yep.
And there is no other generator on the market doing this.
Wow.
This is the old Danish Brüel & Kjær technology that was made for speaker production tests in the 60s.
That's what I'm saying. That those old techniques don't need to be changed. The standard was there already back then.
When you look inside this item, you are shocked. You will be shocked about what they have done. But the price for this item, let's say, is in the past, is about working for 1 year. For a normal guy to buy this
Crazy
one.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years working. Only to buy this one. But most of them were used in the military things and research things where money doesn't matter.
So now, if you wanted to buy something as an alternative, there's not even anything.
No,
on the
there
market,
is nothing on the
Only
market.
digital tools.
Also the digitals don't have. You know, when we are testing speakers, the test must be simple and fast. Yeah. So we are doing tests with ear. You can hear if there is something vibrating, resonating or whatever. And then you go up.
And you find it where?
And then you find it at exactly, let's say if it is at 1500, then maybe the rubber surround is not sticky. So we have a small vibration on the rubber surround or whatever. So I already know when it is vibrating here, I have to check the rubber surround. When we're doing tweeter testing, you can hear the quality of the tweeter on this generator. And when Gregor, my employee, is doing tweeter testing, and I'm in the room next door, I'm shouting, Gregor, this tweeter is very good. You can hear it through to over there. When we are doing the Z tweeters, they sound different even on the generator.
So there's the 5 series.
This is a glass fiber membrane. Glass fiber membrane with the rubber surround. You can feel.
Oh, this is different. This is very different. Is it an older drive order?
No. This is from the 5 series when it was made in Denmark. This is the Denmark version.
I see.
The factory version, and this is our version.
I see. Yeah, this is not that rigid.
This is soft.
Yeah.
And is coated. Yeah. And this is very stiff, and this is because of the membrane tooling that we made. The membrane has a different structure only in the shape, and this gives the stiffness.
Just the difference is the shape, and
nothing else.
That's a huge difference.
It's only the shape.
Yeah, this is really rigid.
We have 2 geometries inside. You can see here. This is like the old cone geometry from Mr. Görlich, and then we go over to an expolinear membrane shape.
Okay. Yeah, you can see slight difference by eye as well. Because that is very, very flexible.
This is a normal high-quality factory membrane.
Yeah.
You see, we have the same diameter, but the shape is different.
Yeah. Big difference.
And then they look like this one.
Without cutting.
Without the cutting. And
what do you cut that with? So exact.
This is laser cut.
Okay.
So the outer edge is laser cut, and the inner part of the membrane we cut with a cutting tool by hand. It must be 100% centering. A centering cutting tool is not easy to cut out the center, because when you do not place the tool 100% in center, you cut away a part of the
surface that you need.
Of the surface that we need. And so the cutting outside is also very difficult to place, because when you feel here, has to be the same amount on edge like feeling here.
Because then you have intolerance.
So this is 4 steps of work: cutting inside, cutting outside, 3 steps. Making the holes for the wires. Is also laser work. These are assemblies for the Z Studio drivers.
That's for the 3 series?
This is for the 3 series, the aluminium membrane. With the 3 series, when I decided to take over the production to my place, I didn't know that it will become that complicated to,
So much more work.
to use aluminium membrane. But okay, the decision was done, and so
You had to deal with
I had to deal with all the problems. You know, this was a very big challenge. The aluminium does not absorb glue. Yeah? This the glass fiber absorbs glue, and also the blue paper membrane absorbs glue. That means if you have a perfect surface and you do have a small mistake in gluing, you always see. The more perfect the surface, the more easy to see the mistake. Yeah? If we have, let's say, a dot of glue here, it will be absorbed by the structure, and the structure will not show.
Yeah, true. Aluminium does.
Yeah.
True. I guess it's easy to produce, less cost.
No, because it's a stamped material. So they are not ready. The white dust you see here right now will be cleaned. This is a chemical reaction from the glue that we have to use.
That leaves
A very strong glue we needed, and it was hard to find because of
that you can use on the aluminium.
because of the EU regulations, the safety papers with glue. You get always a glue that is allowed to use in the European Union. And this glue does not work as good as a glue that you are importing from other countries.
Many people don't even think about these regulations.
Yeah.
You cannot just use anything you want or what you like. Crazy.
Yeah, Z100. Lee is waiting for.
Is this still the same old basket mounting size that you had for the Z line? It's the Z100.
The Z100, the last edition I made, was made with this basket.
Okay.
And during some cleaning, a couple of weeks ago, I found a paper box with about 20 baskets that I even forgot.
Wow.
Yeah? So that's the reason why we can do 10 pair of the Z100, but the basket is no more available. And
So you have to find a new alternative.
yeah, I have an alternative, and I also made a very nice sample, but mounting the magnet on the new basket will be a very big challenge, and I don't know if I want to go for it.
Just ask him because counter some cut out and it's been empty ever since, because then we had to face that was that time when you couldn't make them. Yeah.
No. In the past, I was able to buy 100 baskets, and you know, it's not only the basket. Also the rubber surround must fit. You must find a spider
That
to
fits
fit.
the same way.
You must, the magnet mounting area must fit. So everything must fit. The new basket that I have, the 2 samples, I have the perfect spider already. The rubber surround is fitting perfectly. The membrane fits in perfectly in the height, but the magnet mounting
Is the tricky one.
is this will make me crazy. So I don't know if I go for it.
I have a feeling what's in that this is such a big box. Those are big amps.
The big ends inside.
Jeez. Many people don't realize how big they are.
It's not my problem. This is an installer problem.
I know. I feel that pain. Don't worry.
I don't want to remove the protection.
Yeah, of course. This is going out, so I can
this
see.
is going out. Yeah, all of them are sold. This is one shipment. And you can see this is the data that comes with the amplifier. Yeah. produced by the audio precision. All the graphs are in now. This is channel 1 and 2. This is channel 3 and 4. Power measurement, so everything is fine, and very nice documentation. And the new audio precision analyzer is also very fast in doing this, also in doing the report.
Part of me thinks that, you know, how far can we go? Because those amps are already so good.
Yeah.
So what's happening with this then? You know?
Wait for the new version.
I don't even have experience with this one.
Wait for the new version. It's coming. No, it's under. No, it's in planning. This will be this is the last production of the version 1.3.
Okay.
And there will come a version 2.0.
So that will mean a completely new era for this slightly different version.
So after 5 years, there will be a change in.
Just like you have versions with the speakers.
Yes, but the new amplifier will look even much better in the visual design.
Will it be any smaller? Not just as big?
No, it will be bigger.
Okay.
3 millimeters longer. because it must fit into the box.
That's one very important reason,
Yeah. Much to do better. Only 2 small details will be improved. We will get a better power connector, better speaker connectors, better cooling panels, nicer front and back end. So
just the little touches.
Yeah, you know, like talking about the Braun. The visual details will improve and the electrical details will also improve. That's the reason why it's called the 2.0 version. So this is the last production, and the last production is sold out until the new production starts. Maybe 4 months, something like this. I'm doing research on aluminium material right now. Maybe I have to buy a new CNC machine to do the metal work here in this place.
When you are in control.
Yeah.
You don't depend on others.
Yeah. Depending on others in the aluminium work is
always a big factor.
Sometimes it works, sometimes not.
Take orders on a big pallet like that.
Yeah. So this is also speaker shipment. It's not complete. Speaker and amplifiers. So this is the CNC machine.
Okay, yeah.
This is powered by my colleague Jamie.
I just wanted to ask, you know, who's operating this, because this is a whole different.
So this is a Planet B.
Yeah.
This is Planet B work.
It's crazy.
And this machine is now about 10 years old and is looking like it is 1 year old, because Jamie is so picky to have his machine.
You have to look after it.
Yeah, look after it.
The day doesn't stop.
There is no dent,
you
dent inside after 10 years. That means he's always highly concentrate doing the things.
Nothing is flying, nothing is thrown out. Yeah.
He bought this machine from his money, so that's the reason why it is, you know, because he paid for it.
Pays even more attention to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that, baby. Yep.
Be careful by touching, because
it's sharp,
it has very sharp edges. This is brass material, aluminium, steel.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy for outsiders to see. You know, it's not crazy for you. This is part of your life. And that's where the beauties are. So you are manufacturing with that machine even these smallest pieces. All the little pieces for the studio. Yeah, you need a machine like that for making something like this.
And then you have to make the for the screw.
Yep.
How to do this?
Exactly. You need a very special machine. But that's done with that too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We only have this. When you go to external manufacturer, we have tried this 10 years ago. What you get is a piece of shit that you cannot use, because everything must fit perfectly together.
And align perfectly.
No, this way.
Yeah, that should be the bottom piece.
No. This. One moment.
Oh, it's going there. There's a top piece. Yeah.
Okay, this is going in here.
Yeah, has to be perfect to slot in.
Yeah. You cannot move, and then you screw from here. Click.
Do you use any glue in between?
No.
Or it's just so precise that it locks?
Once you lock, will not open. You can do glue inside, but if you have to unmount it, it will be a big problem. So
in those screws, do you need anything? Add any locking glue on the screw itself?
We don't use. The product you almost know.
when even a woman goes, yeah, this is a piece of jewelry.
Yeah,
when it's done, this is just as pleasing for the eyes as well as for the ears. The top cream.
Yeah, the magnet is very complicated. There's a lot of parts inside, but without doing complicated things, the sound will be not different. You know, if you use the standard material and standard magnet and everything is standard, the sound quality will also only be standard.
It won't be improved. It looks like a mini amplifier.
It is.
It is a mini amplifier. Oh, you know the British guy, Jamie One. Oh yeah.
It's called the message. That's it. Message. So I give you a message now. A message from Jamie Woon. I don't know if the phone is already connected to my high quality amplifier. Rim shot. So
that disappears a lot in many systems. You just can't hear it.
The rim shot recording when the track starts is maybe the best rim shot recording I ever heard. But the rim shot is like a shot with a gun.
Yep.
When you listen with this driver. When I go down now to the Z170, the rim shot will disappear 15-20%.
And unless you go down to...
I go to 7 series, the rim shot is still there, but it's again
Not
20% less. And so when you go to the aluminum membrane, okay, there is something like a rim shot. Yeah. So I demonstrated this to the guys from India because they wanted to know the difference in sound. So
how realistic it is.
How realistic it is, and then we go down, 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 and when we go to the aluminum membrane, the dynamic is gone.
So, what happened from the Gerlich cone to this? Because now this is the latest version.
Yeah.
And you have to figure it out.
The Gerlich cone had variation in thickness.
Wasn't that even?
Yeah. Because of the old molding that he uses. The old molds maybe was 40 years old. And what we have done is completely new molding and completely new assembling technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it shows on the cone.
Yeah,
It's very
so
different.
so the cone is on each part of the cone. The thickness is the same. That means the force that is coming from the voice coil to the cone is going in every direction evenly, and the cone does not bend different, because what you get from here is a lot of energy, and the cone must handle the energy and transport the electrical energy from the voice coil to air moving technology. This is the voice coil is the converting thing from electric to mechanical movement. And the cone, the job of the cone is to follow the voice coil. And if the cone becomes too heavy, the voice coil cannot accelerate so easy. So the more weight...
It slows the voice coil down.
Yeah, the more weight we add, and we are talking about 2.3 gram is the moving mass, and
of the cone or the whole moving
No, the cone only.
The cone only.
Yeah. If we go to the blue membrane, it's a 3.2. So we have 1 gram.
Yeah, but that's 50% more.
But we only have 1 gram, and the 1 gram is absorbing the rim shot. And if we go to the glass fiber membrane, we have about 3.7 gram. This is 0.5 more than the blue paper cone. And if we go to the aluminum, we are at 4.2. So for people think this is no big step, but we have nearly double in the aluminum, nearly. And also the speed of sound in the material is totally different, how it is transported. How it is transported. And the paper membranes have the problem to transport from inside the energy to the outer edge. And the more thick the rubber surround become, the more bending of the membrane will come up. Because the thicker rubber surround don't want to move, but it has to move, and so
then something has to move.
So they are sharing the problem. The rubber surround share the problem with the cone, and this cone cannot be bent on the outer edge because of the structure.
Always stays rigid.
Yeah, we have the foam between the two aluminium foils. And this is similar to the Schilf water plant, the long ones. I don't know what is. Yeah, they have the structure inside and the very thin skin outside, and then they can grow up to 4 meters by this diameter because of the structure.
So then what happens when, let's say, that rim shot in the mid-range is rather handled by the smaller driver, like by the Z-Studio 100, then some people could say that maybe that's not such an important little factor when they only use it as a three-way combination. But then the speed is still there in order to make the driver accurate. Maybe it's not important in the system design, in a three-way system, but the driver is still accurate, and that translates down to the mid-bass as well. But the mid-bass is going to be so much more accurate. Yeah. But you can present it with that song easily, that it plays it so realistically.
Yeah.
That's where we sometimes try to explain to people why a subwoofer is better for accuracy and more SQ than another sub. Because they're like, yeah, but the subwoofer only works under like 100 hertz or 50 hertz. Why does it matter? But if a subwoofer can play up to 1 kilohertz, that tells a lot.
Of course.
It tells a lot.
The woofers that we are doing, the Studio 245, they can go up to 2.5 kilohertz.
Yeah.
But with a flat frequency response.
Crazy.
Yeah. We put a membrane in. So the woofer membranes are also ready. So this is the way it will look. This is the first item is still not ready because of voice coil problems. Today I really heavily forced the voice coil guys to make my samples.
Yeah.
This is something different from the past.
Yeah.
This was only to take measurements
For the gapping.
for the gapping.
Yeah.
But also this handmade coil, the aluminium, is bended. That gives a lot of
Extra strength.
extra stiffness into this voice coil, only by doing this. So many.
Understand, so you can have an amazing result with active system. So tomorrow we are going down. We're going to stop at this place to look at the car, to make a plan, and once the plan.
They call it Grundig cassette radio, blah blah. And when we got the car, switch on radio.
So now you got a inspiration to make a small
I told her, there was no Bluetooth connection, there was nothing. So I took out the radio and tried to find out what is possible. So then I found Bluetooth amplifier, found on Amazon, potentiometers, and you can, by magnet, you can hold the phone on this one, and this, you have the Bluetooth connection, you can hear the navigation, you can hear the music, you can hear radio by phone, everything is there. Only set the tone control a little bit, and is enough. The car audio improved by a 20 Bluetooth amplifier. And if you pay €13, you will get it with a subwoofer output and active crossover.
Wow.
And it gives 2 times 30 watt. If you go at the 24 watt.
Wow.
At the 12 volt, you only get 2 times 15 or something.
Yeah.
Equal height workspace, and you need only 2 cables to speed line.
It's surface you can go around in the chair as well.
Yeah. And if you want to change something, it's also very easy. And the structure above was the latest trick that I had, because I wanted to have everywhere electricity. Everywhere I wanted to have the compressed air, but I don't want to have anything on ground, because you're always walking and moving the chair. So I decided we do a structure like this, and I can easily, when I want to have compressed air here, okay, I cut, do the white adapter, and then it's over there. This is where I'm doing all this, this engraving here, for example, is made on the laser machine. Engraving, cutting, Z Studio 100 ring.
Yep. From Plexi, that exact.
No,
Or is the ABS?
Is a black. You can take.
Is it the ABS?
I don't know
It's probably ABS.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
This is a black matte surface.
Mm-hmm.
You can use them for, let's say,
Sizing.
for sizing, for trying,
Mounting,
or
yeah.
also you can put them into the into the place where you want to install the driver, and then you only have to.
The points. Yeah. That's the only trick with the Z line. That the basket is just a bit larger, which can make the installation a bit more complicated for some people, because that's way more compact.
So these things can be made very fast, and it's no big programming work on the laser machine there. So this is helpful for customers when they are getting in touch with the Z Studio 100 first time. They can try in the car, does it fit, before they are using the original.
It made a big difference for even for us now. We do 3D printing, and you can even 3D print a product with a sketch of it.
This is
it helps a lot.
This is blue.
It's blue. Okay, that's what I thought.
Then you place the.
And then the air also helps to.
No. This is only for cooling the light bulb.
Oh, I see.
Because it's a very powerful light bulb you need. And,
I see.
checking if everything is okay. Z Studio 130.
That's for the phone.
But this will be different in the future. We made already the new membranes.
Do you sell many of the 130s?
Yeah. Not, let's say, not many, but there is always a demand also for home audio guys.
Yeah, I would say mainly there probably.
And it will be in this way in the future. What is going on here?
Sticky fingers. That's what's going on. Yeah, it's gonna sit there.
So it will look. And this will be also the exchange model for the people that bought my home audio speaker. So we take out the old one and we put in the new one. I sent them to the countries, and so the owners, they have to call a technician, or maybe some of them can do this on their own, because it's no big problem to exchange the driver in the speakers. Yeah. To do this is in here. You see generator again. You see the glues I need here. Yeah, the soldering I do here. So I can move from this place to another place, sit down and do different work without moving tools or taking away or have to clean it. So this is the messy area where the things are waiting to be continued or to do packaging or whatever. They are ready to go, but they have to be checked before.
The last check before packing. Yeah.
And here you see the difference from the old to the new one. The old membrane was glued from behind. The new one we glue from this from this side, because it also looks better. But also the membrane is a little bit more deep, so I have to move it forward.
To leave room.
Yeah,
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It also looks much better.
It looks much better. Yeah, because it kind of increases the cone surface area by the look of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, if you have potentially any excessive glue, then that's at the back, not at the front.
This is the parcel for you.
So for the Z-Line 170, you use the same basket as for the 7 series?
Yes,
Is
of
it
course.
The same? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the magnet is different.
Of course. Is a CU magnet. Is a very heavy copper part inside. A very heavy one. You know, not a 1 millimeter thing is that thick.
Yep.
Yeah. And fully covers the pole piece, and also the pole piece is covered on top. So the copper shielding is the best shielding that we found by listening tests.
Yeah. Such a minimal loss around.
Yeah.
And baby magnets.
Yeah, they have to be mounted on the drivers, and then of course they need to be tested, magnet centering. This is the preparation of Schuli 100, and
This is the new space now.
this is the room where we do the packaging of the amplifiers.
And the big boys.
Yeah, the big boys. So this is the last one, it's not finished. No, cover is missing, cover is missing, covers are missing. The test is not already done. This is the 2-channel version, a few of them.
So what's so much more special in the studio amp than, let's say, the 7 series models?
This is a discrete built preamplifier. You know, it's not an IC amplifier, and this is run on a voltage of plus minus 80 volt. So if you go with your fingers somewhere like here, you have a 200 volt. You get a nice shot. So this is high voltage drivers. Also, we have the extreme high quality serial resistors for the output with the lowest inductance that is possible. The same idea, power supply, the analog board. We have the 4 inputs that go to the center of the amplifier board, and from the center we go
Symmetrically.
the symmetrical layout, and from the center we go out with the cables.
Same way symmetrically.
That's the reason why we're having cable, because if you do this on tracks on the PC board, this track will be longer than this one. Also, I don't like PC board tracks. When they become too long, it's always a high resistance. During here, doing the protection, all these things is very time absorbing. I have done the soldering and the protection last week. Mounting the terminals, soldering, protection is about 1 hour. Only to finish.
That's just one part.
This is only one part.
So that's what people don't see.
How
many hours go
How many
into
hours go in? Placing the parts on the PC board, soldering is such a lot of work. You know, the SMD amplifiers, the modern ones, they are made by robot. Tack, 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 tack. Robot has made 80% of amplifier. This is not happening here. So this is a lot of our work, and the quality of the components is extremely high. But we have this also in the smaller amplifiers, very high quality component, but we do not have the space, to do all these other things. And when we talk about the symmetrical layout, we go in, we go out. So we have 2 times same length and same capacity, same inductance, same resistance on channel A, on channel left and on channel right. And of course also the power supply. And the same power supply we are using in the mono amplifier is the same. We are using the same chassis that gives us more efficiency in holding the stock. Because if it becomes too fussy with the chassis, too many parts, the metal work is extremely expensive. So this was the idea, to make it as efficient as possible. And the mono amplifier has the discrete preamplifier with transistors, like here, but in a smaller version. So we have no IC in the signal path. All is solid build transistor technology. And the preamplifier part is running on the voltage of the final transistors. So this is a high voltage driver, a high voltage preamplifier part, not as high as here, but at least it is high. In this one, in the 5 series, we need on the input stage 1 IC because of the limited space.
Space you had there, because half of it is taken by the power supply.
You know, this is 2 channel on 1 board. So this is, of course, high quality IC, no need to change. And the transistors need no driver, no special one, because the driver is already into this transistor, and that's the reason why the transistor has 4 connectors. This gives
but what you managed to do with the 5 series as well, it's amazing, because now we have car with it, and people didn't want to believe me that the 5 series is just as fine quality.
I love a lot. And the transistors, they are no more in production. So I bought, I don't remember, 2,000 of them.
So you're okay for a while?
I'm okay for a while. And after this while, we have to see what happens.
You'll figure out now you're okay for a while.
We have
Don't
to
worry
see
about
what
it.
happens. But this is a very high quality sunken product from Japan. You know, looking at this, when I do this, okay, have my glasses on and look. Then I find out, okay, there is no need to change anything. We can put aside. Okay? Looking at this, there is no need to work on this amplifier. It can be continued.
Well, the thing is, you had a lot of research going into it before you started releasing it. Many people were surprised, I guess, at some point. What time did you start to release the amps?
This one was end of 2008, it was done. End of 2008. We started the sales in early 2009. And then the mono came up about 1 year later. And 2 years later, this one, the 2-channel amplifier.
I think it took us way more time till we actually realized. It wasn't, now you say it, but I'm like, I didn't even hear about the amps probably till like, I don't know, 2017, 18.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe it wasn't so well known for this part of the world. Maybe Far East, the guys already knew about it. But over here, you know, it took time. And then of course, once we started to use them, then we realized that, okay, this is different. This is different game.
Yeah. What I also like is, you know, you can unmount the chassis. You know, if it becomes scratchy, is no problem. Just unmount,
It's a quality.
send it to anodizing, and it looks like new.
Yeah.
Also the top plates, this is the typical brown design,
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah, that's what I have here.
Yeah, but some countries prefer the acrylic plate like this one. Yeah. This is different. There's a protection film on.
Yeah.
So it can be changed. Also in colors, you can have a blue one, you can have a green one. It's depending on the car and what you want to represent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many people prefer this design in mine because it looks classier, cleaner.
It looks it fits more the S class.
Exactly. Not that a part of me wouldn't want to show the inside, because equally when you have multiple of them next to each other, then they can be very impressive. It already shocks people when they see it. Like a few days ago I was on that show and people sort of, what's that? Let alone showing the inside, they would freak out. Like
You can answer them. I have a lot of power supplies.
Yeah. The car is electric, right?
No. This is one power supply is 2 channel, but in your car, one power supply is 1 channel.
1 channel, exactly.
And this power supply is able to give 350 watt is the power supply, and what the amplifier makes out of it is another story.
Yeah, fraction of it normally.
Yeah, there's
they
also
give a lot of headroom and control. Yeah.
So in your car you have the 6 mono or
6 mono, 1 stereo.
Yeah, 6 mono. That means you have 6 times 350 watt power supplies. Yeah, I can measure.
You can.
Now this is the output. You see this is the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
We are above 100. This is exactly 130 on the 5 series.
Oh.
At the voltage 14.2.
At 4 ohm.
Yeah.
Jeez, I didn't even realize this was capable of that.
Yeah.
At 14.2. Okay. Wow. All right. Okay.
So this is the DC out, the DC level on output. You have a 6 microvolt minus on channel 1, and you have 0.8 microvolt on channel 2. So the DC offset is extremely low. So that means the balancing, the working point on the transistors is perfect. So the workflow is we take the amplifiers from here, from the shelf. We bring it to the table, start the measurement sequence, and then the report is automated. So with the new measurement items I have is very, very fast. So we can do, let's say, one amplifier full measurement is including mounting and all these things and documentation is about 4 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. Then everything is.
Yeah, but you invested a lot in new testing equipment as well now to make it happen. A lot. Yeah, I've seen when you share the pictures. Yeah, it looks quite something. Definitely. There are not many manufacturers globally who would have a space like this.
No. Yeah. This is a Mercedes S-Class.
Pretty much, yeah.
But at the end, you need, I have 3 audio analyzers. This one is, let's say, mainly for research. The working, to run the software is very complicated. And I've spent many nights here to understand what these guys from this company are doing. So if you want to do crazy measurements that has no one done before, you have to start this machine. For the production line or for the control of the production, the audio precision is the best because it's extremely fast and very precise. But to do research, there is a limit in their software. It's not made for it comparing to this one. And this is something in between. This is from the UK, from Prism Sound. I bought this item 12, 14 years ago. It's still working. And this is, let's say, the software graphic user interface, the GUI. Looks ugly, but it's easy to understand. So it's depending what I want to do with amplifiers, what I want to find out which item I'm using. All of them are connected to this laptop and all of them are connected to the screen. So this is the startup screen from the audio precision, and so we can, amplifier is on, we switch on generator, and there you can see the distortion of 1% on this amplifier. You can see the amperes, look here, there's 25 amperes are now running.
You are just above 15 volt over there as well. Yep.
Yeah, 15 volt.
Yeah.
And then we have this is the clipping point right now. This gives the 1%. This is, you can see the 1% distortion is already a lot. So we go down a little bit, but we have the 132 watt. We go down. So now we are at 100 watt output and the distortion is 0.01 and 0.006. Supply goes up to 40 amperes.
Yeah, for your amps.
Yeah, this is enough to bring all the amps to the limit.
What about the studio amp, the big 4 channel?
Yeah, the 4 channel, I only measured 2 channels.
Okay.
Yeah. I measured channel 1 and 2, and then I measured channel 3 and 4. So the 40 ampere is enough to measure 2 channels. And this is a vintage Mundorf item, let's say 35 kg, and it gives 100 ampere.
Yep.
So if there is something exotic to test,
yeah.
This is more than 1 kilowatt. So this is important if you want to find out, oh, this is not connected, also a smaller one that gives more digit to see about the idle current or whatever. So the laboratory is prepared for a lot of things. Also have to be clean. No one is allowed to enter this room when I'm not there.
Yeah, you can tell you come and everything is at the place,
the
right place.
Yeah. All the tools and all the adapters I need is here. No one is allowed to take away.
Take anything away. Where did it go?
Take away something. Yeah. Where the serial numbers go and the date when they were measured.
So everything is well organized.
Yeah.
Yeah, stupid.
Otherwise, if this is not organized, you make mistakes. On the paper, I have to find. Here. This is about rise time.
Yeah, that we were talking about. Yeah.
That we were talking about.
Not many people
So
think too much of it.
this is the rise time of the generator. This one, okay? The generator creates the square wave. The square wave goes into the amplifier, and this is the speaker output. So you can see the time the signal need to come out in full. Let's say we say this is full, and this is about 6 microseconds from zero. But the time behavior of the two channels is different. You know why? Because the PC board layout is not mechanical symmetrical. So one channel has a different routing.
So we don't mention what this one was, right?
No, I do not mention. But an amplifier has 4 RCA input on the left side and 4 speaker output on the right side. The routing internal of all the channels is different because of the mechanical placement of components.
Yeah, that's where I have many friends who literally look at an amplifier layout. They don't even have to listen to it. Some of them told me that, hey, we got this amp for testing, we looked at it, we didn't even want to power it on. We knew this is not going to be good enough for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're on the same page that if you look at it, you know it. Yeah. So clearly this wasn't great because those two channels don't work on the same time domain, the same way.
This measurement is many years old, and it happened because a competitor from ARIA told me I have problems to get a proper center. And the amplifiers he got, they came back from modification. Thomas, can you please check if the I cannot check the center quality of your amplifiers. How should I check this? Please check.
Everything works perfectly.
Okay, so I did the measurement on the time domain, and I found out, it started with the frequency response from this one. This item is measuring from DC to 250K.
Crazy.
I measured the amplifier from DC to 250K. One channel was below 20 Hertz, was totally different in behavior comparing to the other one, okay? I was thinking how this can be. On the other side, above the 20 kilohertz, one channel was behaving totally different to the other one. I said, okay, maybe component or whatever, I don't know. So, of course, then I opened up the amplifier, I checked, the routing, how it's done, no, this is not good. Then I went to the time domain measurement, and then I saw this first time. And the funny thing on this story is that the human ear was able to find out by listening that there is something wrong with the amplifier.
You need a very experienced pair of ears.
Yeah.
Usually the competitors.
I don't want to tell who it is.
I have a feeling. I think. But, we both know him really well.
But I was really surprised. And then we changed the amplifier in his car, and the staging problem that he had all over the years was gone. And I was shocked again that he said, hey, the staging is now there.
It's now solid. Yeah.
But the current on the second channel.
So and now when people have not 2 channels, but they have 6 or 8 channels, that's when it becomes a mess. Yeah.
So no one can prove that this is wrong. Yeah? It is proved by listening experience that the idea to have the symmetrical layout is the best for the focus in the car, because it is a physical construction. You know, it's not only crazy mindset. Yeah? You can see on paper, and the guy heard it.
Well, that's where we also have something special happening in the S-Class. The people don't understand how I get what we get in that car. In that car, with an OEM layout, and they are surprised, and partially, yeah, that's also because of this. There are many components that have to be lined up perfectly, the whole installation, but this is just as important.
This is an explanation how important it is and what is the problem if the amplifier in his structure is not that good. Maybe in some amplifiers the problem is less. Maybe, I don't know. But when I open an amplifier today and I look at it, I can say, ooh. Same with DSP in amplifiers. This is something I do not like because DSP technology is always improving. You get new software, you get new hardware, new chips. You buy a very expensive amplifier with integrated DSP, and the DSP is surrounded by a high current environment and is getting hot. So if there is something broken, you cannot repair.
Fortunately, what we use these days, we haven't had reliability problems so far. Some of them can design and make reliable products. Because hey, it's 2024.
It's like there is no possibility to repair V12 engine after 10 years. It's possible, but it's not worth.
Yes.
So the S-Class V12 double turbo is wasted. It's not worth to repair. And this is a pity. It was in the beginning a piece of high engineering, and after 10 years,
technology moves on. Nobody's interested in the old one. Buy a new one. So here we are, after almost 2 hours, right? I hope some of you watched it all the way, and now you get a bit more insight into what micro precision is about. Quite often we also get the questions, Pete, why are these products cost so much money? Well, I think after this video it's pretty clear for many of you that when the products are handmade by a human, not by a robot, then that comes with time, labor, and it's just simple as that. As he explained when we were looking at the amplifiers, just certain parts of the assembly takes so long, then the whole production of an amplifier can be so time consuming, and that's one of the reasons why the products cost what they cost. It's difficult in car audio because the car audio field is packed with really passionate DIYers as well, where people do it because they just love doing it and they have free time on their hands, but they don't necessarily have the budget to play with expensive equipment like some of the top tier speakers and amplifiers Thomas offers. And that's when people always try to compare things just looking at a price tag. They don't know what it's like compared to something else, and then they think the more expensive the better, which is not always the case. In his case, yes, there's time that is a big part of the price that comes with some of the top tier products. But of course, you can see that he never stopped developing products. He's already developing a complete new version of the top tier amplifier. He had several versions of the speakers as well that he always marks as Mark II, Mark III, Mark IV. And then whenever he finds a better alternative, a better material, a different way of doing things, and then even if he just adds like a couple of percentage of improvement, then he carries on developing these things. And even if some people say that, yes, things take time with him, but things happen, eventually things happen. And then he also listens to especially the competitors who request certain products. And he's already working on a couple of products that many people will like when they come out. So I hope you like this video, and I'm just so grateful that I could spend a bit of time with Thomas. I could really get to know him, what he's like, because that's just one thing what you saw in the factory. What you didn't see is how this whole precision philosophy, everything revolves around precision in his life. Even some very lucky people who have seen him cooking Oh man, that is a whole different story. It's just amazing how detailed he is when it comes to cooking. He's so passionate about cooking as well. I told to him, if you know, one day he gets bored making speakers and amplifiers, he could open a Michelin star. Well, he could open a restaurant that could, you know, that could have a really good chance to get the Michelin star, because his cooking is just as mind-blowing like some of the products he comes up with. But yeah, it was just an amazing moment in my audio journey as well to achieve this when we had time during the summer and we could visit him. And hopefully in the future I will have a chance to visit more and more manufacturers who share the same passion like I also have doing this. You know, this is my life, and we all do this because we just love music. So hopefully you liked it. Feel free to share it. Feel free to share it, because videos like this, I think, really give an insight into what it takes to develop something amazing for the market. And feel free to comment. And of course, yes, as every YouTuber says, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, because that helps the channel. Also, when you comment, that helps the channel, because then the algorithms help to share this content and put it in front of other audiophiles. So I appreciate every single second that you spent in front of this video, guys, and hopefully I can bring something amazing like this video in the near future. Take care.